The excerpt I'm going to read to you today comes in the story just after Peter has stolen Zach's journal. Earlier in the day, before this section of the story occurs, Peter snuck into Zach's first period class before anyone was there, and on the board wrote a sentence from Zach's journal. And when everyone showed up for class that day, they had no idea what the sentence on the board meant. And of course, Zach, sitting in the back, got totally freaked out about seeing this sentence on the board and had no idea how it got there. Zach didn't admit to putting it there or knowing anything about the sentence, and so this is only the first step in Peter's plan to torture Zach. And the part I'm going to read to you today actually deals strictly with Peter. You won't see or hear about Zach in this section at all. And it happens after school on that very same day, as most people are gathered in the auditorium at Elko Middle School watching the auditions for the high school play. Peter Short waited in the park across the street from Elko Middle School. Soon, most everyone in the building would be in the auditorium watching the auditions, which meant Peter could slip in and out of Mrs. Miller's room without being seen playing his second card. He gave it 5 more minutes, then started to cross the street, but he did not get very far. "Excuse me," a voice called from behind him. Peter turned around and saw a man dressed entirely in black. "Do you go to this school?" the man asked. "Why do you want to know?" The man smiled easily with the whitest set of teeth Peter had ever seen. He had black hair, pulled back into a short ponytail. He wore a black leather coat over a black shirt, tight black jeans, and black cowboy boots with gold tips on the toes. Peter could not believe his bad luck. "My name is Hector Jones," the man said. "Good to meet you, Hector. What do you want? I'm in kind of a hurry." "And your name is?" "Peter Short." Hector put his hand out. On his wrist was a heavy gold watch. On 3 of his fingers were expensive-looking rings. Peter became a lot more interested in Hector Jones. He shook Hector's hand. "Have you gone to this school long, Peter?" "Since 8th grade. I'm in 8th now." Who was this guy? What did he want? Hector looked up and down the street. A lot of cars. "They're having auditions for the high school play today," Peter explained. Hector looked closely at Peter's face. That must have been quite a black eye at one time. "You should have seen the other guy," Peter said. Hector gave a small laugh. "I'm wondering if I can trust you, Peter." Peter didn't say anything. "I'm in town looking for someone, but it is very important that they do not know that I'm looking for them. Do you understand?" "Yeah, I understand." Hector reached into his pocket and came out with a thick roll of bills. He peeled off 2 20s. "If I ask you some questions, can you keep it just between you and me?" Peter stared at the money. "I can keep my mouth shut." "I thought you could." He handed Peter the bills. "Do you get a lot of new students here?" "Quite a few." "The family I'm looking for has a son about your age. Brown hair, brown eyes, a little taller than you. Anyone like that around here?" Peter thought immediately of Zach Granger, but he had blue eyes. There were a couple of other new kids in school it could be too. "What's their last name?" "They used to go by the name Osborne, but I suspect that they are no longer using that name." "Why are you looking for them?" "Mrs. Osborne left her husband. He wants to know where his children are. He wants to know if they are safe." "Are you a private detective or something?" "Yes." "Is there a reward?" $200. Might be enough to get me to San Francisco, Peter thought. "Do you have a photo of the family?" "I'm afraid I don't," Hector said. "Do you think you know a boy like this?" Never let them know what you know. Peter wasn't sure if he had or knew anything or not, but he wasn't going to tell Hector this. Like I said, there are a lot of new kids this year. It's possible that one of them could be who you're looking for. I could do some asking around. How do I get in touch with you? I'm staying at the Windsor Hotel, room 222. What are you going to do when you find them? I will tell Mr. Osborne where they are. It will be up to the courts to decide what to do next. I'll keep my eyes open. Thank you, Peter. I'm glad we met. So was Peter. He decided to go home and take another look at Zach's journal. He had only skimmed it before, looking for references to Cataline. Tonight, he would read it all the way through. His second card could wait. So, if you want to find out who this mysterious Hector Jones is, what Peter Short decides to do, if Zach's family will stay in Elko, who Mr. Sebesta really is, you've got to read Zach's Life by Roland Smith. And when you finish it, you can go out and get Jack's Run, the second part of this two-part series. Read it, tell me about it on the blog, and I will see you next week.